Hi there, welcome to I Lone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Taurus energy. And for this reading, we're going to use the Kipper deck by Maruk X. Got it off their Etsy shop. So let's see what energy is available to people in their Taurus energy. The first card we have come out is Sideways, which is the Lilies card, which is Capricorn energy. Capricorn energy, we all have free will. We can either choose to align with our more worldly Capricorn nature, which can be our more ego nature, or we can free ourselves and put in work and effort to free ourselves from our ego nature. And it's not showing itself. So you might be coming across some people that you don't know how they harness their Capricorn energy. They don't have to be a Capricorn sun sign. We all harness all these zodiac sign characteristics in high vibe, worldly vibe, or a shadowy vibe. And you might not be showing other people. And the reason is because of the fox, which is Scorpio energy. There might be someone around that you don't trust. You might not, in Capricorn energy, be putting in work and effort with them because you might view someone as shadowy. Shadowy Scorpio energy can be people who are emotionally shallow. They're superficial. They try to maybe manipulate people to be in relationships and put work and effort into a relationship with them, but they have ulterior purposes. You might know someone who presents themselves one way in the world, like as if they're willing to have deep, meaningful relationships with people, but they actually are more aligned with their shadow nature. So you're being strategic. I guess we could look at the fox as kind of being like a Seven of Swords energy in a way, even though that's not. Oh, well, Scorpio energy is represented by the Seven of Cups. Are people being truthful and honest, or are they creating an illusion? Some people don't know if you have freed yourself from your fear, your insecurity, your self limiting beliefs, your illusions, and they don't know if they can manipulate you or not. Other people really might want to have a dream come into reality with you, but they don't know if you're more ego focused or if you're have freed yourself from your shadowy nature. So, Taurus energy can be people who would like to put work and effort in with people in high vibe, with people who act with character and integrity, who really are who they say they are. And you could be kind of just being protective of yourself because you're maybe in the fox energy. You could be trying to listen to your intuition about people in your life and getting to know them because you don't want to get in a relationship with people who are hiding the fact that they're more ego focused, money focused, self focused, selfish, greedy, lazy, immature, indulgent focused. You want to be with people who are authentically being who they say they are. So some people in their Taurus energy are creating an illusion and they're not being truthful and honest. Other people probably maybe are more authentic in the world. They are being warm and open and loving and giving in the world. But they're not going to put work and effort into a relationship with just anybody until they get to know them. Then we have the letter card and the book card. And the reason that came out is because of the fish card. You know, the letter card is kind of like what's hidden within people. It's Gemini energy, and that has to do with what truly are people aligned with within themselves. And you could be listening to your intuition to figure out, are people more aligned with their hopeful, believing, loving nature, or are they just creating an illusion to get you to be in relationship with them, but they really are kind of more selfish or greedy or something like that. The Pisces book card kind of talks about what dream are we trying to create in our life? Some people live in fantasy land. Two cards of Pisces energy. Pisces is our emotional nature of what are our dreams. Some people have illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. They think it's okay for them to be deceptive and manipulative. If they're self-centered and all about themselves, well, yeah, everybody justifies their actions, however they're living their life. You could be robbing and stealing from people, and people justify their actions. There could be some people who weren't willing to put work and effort in with you previously, who know that you are aligned with your more loving, hopeful, believing nature. And some of those people are just going to have to watch you put in work and effort to bring your dreams into reality, because they previously were maybe more emotionally shallow or unwilling to put in work and effort to free themselves from their fears, their insecurity, their illusions that they have about relationships or life. And you're moving on. There could also be someone else who would like to be in a relationship with you, but they're not sure, and they could be trying to listen to their intuition before they take action towards you, because Capricorn is earth sign energy about the 3D world and putting in work, effort, communication, and things like that. They might just be watching you to see what you're going to do next. What are you going to align with next? Are you going to go indulge yourself? Are you going to be manipulative or go back to living in fantasy land? If there's been some people hoping you would put an end to a relationship even and quit putting work and effort into a relationship because it wasn't maybe a healthy relationship for you, they could have been hoping that you would love and believe in yourself, and they're waiting to see if you love and believe in yourself. And the high vibe people want you to do that. And you could have some other people from your past that are looking to see if you love and believe in yourself. And if you are, then they might try to come in to stop you, because we have a dualistic nature. We have our shadow nature. We have our more loving nature. And whichever one we align with within ourselves is probably the type of people we're going to align with in our life. And there are people in the world that are, at least each one individually to us in our life, are what in tarot they refer to as a karmic, which is someone who doesn't have your best interest at heart. And if they start to see that you seem to be loving and believing in yourself, those people are going to try to come into your life to stop you. And high vibe people have always been there loving and encouraging you, We have the Rider and the House because of good luck. Those of you that are putting in work and effort to see life from a higher perspective, this is Aquarius, this is Taurus, and it has to do with, having hope and faith and belief in your dreams. Aquarius energy is looking at life from a higher perspective. I have hope and faith and belief. I can heal from past pain and heartbreak. I believe I can overcome my own inner mountains to climb. I can overcome my fear, my insecurities, my self-limiting beliefs. I believe in my Taurus energy that if I keep believing in my dreams and I keep putting work and effort into bringing my dreams into reality, I focus on being positive, loving myself, believing in myself, offering myself compassion, forgiveness for the lessons I had to learn in life, the people that I came in contact with that might even have more lessons to learn in life than I do. I'm going to keep moving forward, and I'm going to keep having hope and faith and belief in my dreams. And Sagittarius energy is about educating ourselves. We come into the world in our worldly nature, and we have to learn to love and believe in ourselves, that we can manifest our dreams into reality. And it takes educating ourselves about our worldly nature. And for some people, when you do that, you have to let go in Capricorn of your more worldly nature, because Capricorn in shadow can be represented by the devil, which is kind of like our worldly nature. that tries to limit us, restrict us, confine us, oppress us, imprison us. And then we have people in the world who are happy that we don't love and believe in ourselves so that they can be deceptive and manipulative and emotionally manipulate us into being in a relationship with them for their own kind of selfish, greedy, prideful reasons. And you could have listened to your intuition about some people who basically were shadow energy, like the devil to you. They weren't offering you love and encouragement to be all that you could be because they maybe were more indulgent focused or worldly focused. And you realized you need to cut those people out of your life if you wanted to have your dreams come into reality. Some of you could have communicated with someone else who you also believe does believe in their dreams, and you could have communicated to them that you would like to work together with them to move forward in a friendship group, a work group, a romantic relationship, that you're being bold and brave and confident. You've healed from the past. You've learned the lessons in high vibe Capricorn energy. You did free yourself from your shadowy nature. You learned to give yourself the things that you wish other people would have given you. You did educate yourself. You did look at life from a higher perspective. And that's how your foundation is moving forward. And other people who are aligned with that same dream of being someone who's willing to step outside of societal norms, who's willing to look at life as an adventure to be lived, who's willing to be high vibe Taurus is people who are kind of willing to be someone who is like a spiritual leader in the world. They walk the talk. They don't just present an illusion of look how stable and grounded and just and fair and nurturing, supportive we are, but they're really just shadowy Pisces is people who could just be creating an illusion, and they are aligned with their more worldly nature, wanting to be in relationships and friendships because of the ego or the image or the status or the money, or finding someone who'll indulge them being selfish or greedy or immature or self-centered or whatever. So high vibe people are moving forward. They're communicating with other people that they believe, it's like, who am I going? We can have a lot of people in the world that we're respectful to, we're kind with, they're just not people, there's no reason to be rude to other people, right? In general, you know, it's to get along in the world, to be loving and encouraging to people. But we're trying to find people who seem to be on the same page as we are, that we have that unique connection with, that we believe that we would like to be in a long term stable foundation with, if it's work related more or a more emotional long term relationship. And not everybody's going to be in that close group with us. The world at large is going to be people in our life that, don't have to be on the same page with us at all, but we treat them with kindness and respect, and we respect that everybody's on their own path. We have people that are, more bold and brave and confident than we are. We have other people who aren't, have more fears or insecurities than we have, There's all sorts of people in the world. We're trying to find those people that are basically kind of like, you could say, the same timeline as we are, because we generally kind of like to work with people who are on the same page as we are. And you're trying to find some people that are on the same page as you are. And there too, some people who aren't on the same page as you are, they want to be in relationships with people who are on the same page as they are. And everybody right now might have quit working with people who harness their Taurus Scorpio energy differently. And Taurus energy is about, how do I view myself? How do I view the world? How do I view relationships? And Scorpio energy can be, some people like to be in more emotionally less confusing relationships. They would like to keep their emotions more buried beneath the surface, probably because to dive into their emotions is really confusing for them, or it kind of destabilizes them because they're not used to doing it, you know? It'd be kind of like, oh, are you used to going on stage and speaking or singing in front of people, or are you not? You know, and not, you know, most of us aren't at the level of like, yeah, I could go sing in front of a crowd, a field auditorium. You know, we've all got to start. We've all got to build our confidence over time about what we're capable and willing to do that wouldn't freak us out. So I think everybody right now is probably communicating with other people in their life at work, you know, because Taurus is all the different, Taurus can represent all the things in the world: work, friend, family, community groups, social groups, you know, all the different type of groups that you can belong to in the world, establish things in the world. But I think some really high vibe Taurus people, they're really, Aquarius energy is about thinking outside the box. I'm willing to step outside of societal norms. I trust my intuition. And that's how society evolves and changes over time, right? And the really high vibe Tauruses are willing to think outside the box, and they trust their intuition, and they're willing to take creative, inspired action in their life, to live their life trusting the divine has a plan for their life. It might not be conventional, it might not be the status quo, it might be out of the status quo, but they're listening to their intuition, they're trusting the divine and their intuition to come together in some type of group dynamic. And when we listen to our intuition, anytime we listen to our intuition, even if it turns out bad, you know, the whole thing is, if we're not ready to be more bold and brave and confident, if we have some lessons learned that we haven't even realized that we have lessons learned, like learning to have hope and faith and belief in ourselves, willing to go with the flow, willing to change and grow and mature ourselves, willing to look at life from our perspective, our intuition is going to lead us into relationships. We are going to be drawn and attracted to people, and we get drawn and attracted to people to help us get clear about what our truth is. And there could be some people you've moved away from because you have learned some life lessons that they haven't seen the truth of. Again, with the fox being Scorpio energy, that can be, I live in illusion, I don't want to see the truth, I'm emotionally confused, I don't want to see the truth of that. Rejecting the Capricorn energy, they're not putting in work and effort to work through their emotional confusion or their illusion. Well, they're going to, whether they want to or not, they will be drawn and attracted to go get in relationships with people, because that kind of in this card also kind of reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune card. We all think the Wheel of Favor is going to turn, the Wheel of Fate is going to turn our favor. And it really does, depending on how we look at it, even if that relationship doesn't work out. Because there was lessons for us to learn in that. That's why I have a key on either side. Nothing is wasted in the universe. You're going to learn lessons one way, either path you take. And life is all about learning lessons. Is this your truth or is that your truth? Some people who had lessons to learn where they were still letting their fear or their insecurity or their past pain and heartbreak kind of drive their decision making, or their selfishness or their greed or their immature nature, whatever their shadow is, they're going to be drawn and attracted to get in some relationships to teach them some lessons. Is this really what you want? You got what you wanted. Are you happy? Do you find this emotionally fulfilling? Well, then we need to put in work and effort to maybe connect back in with our emotions and our intuition and our dreams, and maybe have hope and faith and belief that if that wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and I wasn't happy, but I thought that would make me happy, well, then there must be, that's not it. Then there must be something more. And we move forward and we put in work and effort to go with the flow to figure out what that is. And I think that's basically where everyone is right now. There could be some people that were more focused on money and materialism And if that relationship didn't work out, for some of you high vibe people, some of those people could want to communicate with you and basically tell you that they want to move forward with you now. And that's why you've got to be careful, because some people, it is all about ego and death and sex. Shadowy Scorpio is like, life's just about death, sex, and taxes. You know, who am I going to be in a relationship with? Who am I going to have sex with? Who am I going to have stability and security with? And if some people previously had a relationship that didn't work out, they might be looking at you wanting to move forward with you, because they could believe that you do believe in your dreams and that you're going to bring your dreams into reality, and they want to be a part of it. So, in this in between stage with the letter and the fish, that can be all about, communicating with people and stuff, because Gemini is air sign energy of the mind, which is the swords, which can be about communication. You might get to know people to see what is their dreams, what are their hopes, what are their wishes, what are their ambitions, what are they motivated and inspired by? Are they still caught up in the illusion of the world? Ego, pride, envy, jealousy, competitiveness, but they don't want you to see that. So they're hoping they can just emotionally confuse you and make you buy into their illusion they're presenting so that they can move forward with you. But really, they haven't done the work that you've done. They haven't seen life from a higher perspective. They haven't put in the work and effort to educate themselves. They're just hoping you will buy into the illusion of who they are and let them come forward with you, because they think you look like you're the one who's going to be successful now, even if they were someone before who wasn't willing to work with you. And you'll have to listen to your intuition. If somebody in the past already showed you that they're selfish, they're greedy, they're prideful, they're egotistical, they're self-centered, they're backstabbing, they're all about themselves, they're emotionally shallow people, odds are they're still going to be that kind of person. We can look back at our own life when we were getting caught up in certain things. How long did it take you to learn how to love and believe in yourself, in your own head, to not belittle and berate yourself every day? How long did it take you to learn some lessons in life, not to get engaged with people who are immature and reckless and, never grow up? Well, if you had some people that were quite shadowy in your past, odds are they may never learn those lessons in life. And you're probably chapters and books ahead of them on having learned lessons of maybe they were never people had hope and faith and belief and love, or maybe for a really long time, like decades, they haven't had hope and faith and belief and love. They could think life is just all about death, sex, and taxes, and it's just to create an illusion so people will move forward with them in a relationship, so they look like a shining star in the world, so they look like they're the winners, so they look victorious. But love isn't the driving factor in their life. Now, other people have people in their past who either they were never in a relationship with, or for some reason, people had growing up to do, but you always knew that person was a loving person. They always treated you with kindness and respect and were open and loving and warm. That's, to differentiate between the different people in your past that could come towards you as you're moving forward. And then as you are here and moving forward in your life, you're going to have to listen to your intuition about the people in your life, again, who are more ego focused, image focused, kind of immature, indulgent, immature players in the world. And you've been given a gift here. It's kind of like the divine communicating with you. You have been given a gift of knowledge, like a book of knowledge you have access to. Just like bats have sonar and butterflies and birds know to fly to warmer climates. You have that gift. And if you listen to your intuition to guide you, you will know who to move forward with and who to move away from. And if it's confusing, make the best decision you can. Again, nothing is wasted. You will learn lessons on either path. So let's go see what are the high vibe Tauruses. What is coming in the near future for them? The Fool, the Eight of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands because of the Two of Pentacles. Well, I think for you high vibe people who have hope and faith and belief in yourself, you've freed yourself from your shadow nature, you're connected in with your emotions and your intuition, you're putting in work and effort within yourself to grow and mature and heal so that your foundation is going with the flow and trusting the divine has a plan for your life versus making decisions out of fear or insecurity or pride or ego. You're going to go on a new journey. Why? Because in the Capricorn energy of the Two of Pentacles, you have lifted up your investment in the past and you're maintaining your balance. You want your ship of dreams to come into reality, but where you had been, your dreams didn't come into reality there. Everybody has to be on the same page. Everybody has to be willing to be just and fair and open and honest and bold and brave, you know? And some people weren't. And then you have a lot of people in your life who are still moving forward with you, and just in general, other people in the world who are on the same page as you are, even if you don't know each other, you know? The bold, brave people who've learned lessons from past life experience, who haven't given up on their dreams, who do believe that they can heal from their own shadowy nature, from their own past pain and heartbreak, those people are moving forward in life. They're offering themselves that cup of love to get out of illusion and confusion and leave behind people in their life who harness shadowy energy of being fools. They keep juggling like, oh, I don't know, do I want to do love? Do I believe in myself? Do I want to heal? If I do that, I can't align with my shadowy nature. I can't be in self-pity and jealousy and envy and blame everyone else. I've got to choose to love and believe in myself. If I, and some people, they don't want to detach in the past. They don't want to move away from their illusions that they have about relationships. They want to keep indulging in a certain way of being in a relationship, and that could be where they juggle. I want to present myself as just and fair and loving and loyal and committed and a pillar of society, but at the same time, I want to indulge my shadowy nature, which can be my more immature, indulgent, self-centered, unjust, unfair nature. So you're moving away from people who juggle and still have lessons learned in life. You don't want to repeat those same types of relationship dynamics because you've already learned the lesson. You've done it. You've learned the lesson from it. Other people either should have learned the lesson, but they don't want to see the truth, or they just haven't learned the lessons in order to move forward in life. And they still have these illusions about things in the world that will make them happy. And there's some layers of their fear or their insecurity or their ego they need to shed. And they're probably going to go through some challenging life situations to teach them those lessons that they haven't learned yet. And you've already been there and done that. So you're moving forward. You choose love. And so you are going to emotionally nurture and love yourself. And you also want to move forward with other people. I view the Queen of Pentacles as Taurus energy, and the Queens in Tarot can represent our emotional state. You want to be in relationships with other people who've emotionally grown and matured themselves and learned lessons in life. People that have learned to have good boundaries within themselves, so they're not being foolish and indulging their fearful, insecure, immature, self-centered, indulgent nature. You want to be in relationships with other people in high vibe Capricorn who freed themselves from their shadow nature, their devilish nature, who are balanced, who choose love, who choose to love and believe in themselves, to have good boundaries within themselves so that they can be good partners and nurturing people and good business leaders because they do have good boundaries within themselves. And the other people aren't going to move forward with you because they know in order to move forward with you, they have to walk away from their illusions too. And when we decide, this is how I'm going to live my life, that means I'm not going to live my life that way. And some people are unwilling, they want it both. I want to present myself this way and have everybody view me this way, but then I want to be like this, like behind the scenes or behind closed doors or where people can't see. I want to play both sides of the fence, basically. They're not willing to quit indulging their shadowy Aries energy, regardless of what zodiac sign they are. But shadowy Aries energy can be more me focused. Well, I want people to view me this way. Like, what they want to do, they don't want people to know they're more focused on the world, ego, image, money, indulgence. They want to emotionally confuse people about the truth of who they are. Some of those people already rejected loving people in their life and the loving people moved on. But they don't want people to realize that the reason the loving people probably distance themselves from them is because of the fact that they're something in their shadow nature: bossy, controlling, self-centered, egotistical, abusive, materialistic, emotionally shallow, more focused on indulging themselves than being in deep, meaningful relationships. And they don't want the world to know that about them. So they're trying to confuse the people in the world about the truth. And so the way to do that is, I know I'm going to create an illusion, because Pisces energy can be about that. And that's how they harness their Pisces energy. I don't connect with my emotions and intuition to help me to make the best decisions in my life. I'm much more maybe mentally strategic than that. I think I know better. I know I can just create an illusion. I can maybe go get in a new relationship or try to write a new story so that everybody still views me as like a shining star in the world. And I'm maybe going to go get in another relationship so it looks like, look, I got in a relationship with someone else. I don't know what's wrong with those loving people that left me. It was all them. They're the type of people who try to cast their negative traits and characteristics on other people and still try to maintain their pristine image. Shadowy Scorpio can also represent narcissists. So the other people are going to use this energy and they're going to try to make it look like this is who they are. But really, they just try to make it look like they're moving forward in life, but they're living life exactly the same way they've always done it. And they could think, I'll be happy if I have the things of the world. Those are the things I want to emotionally invest in. And if I can get in a relationship with someone who has those things of the world, or someone who will emotionally invest in me while I juggle and while I'm foolish and while I don't want to see the truth and I keep repeating these same old patterns and they never learn to have good boundaries up to me, perfect, you're my kind of person. Let's get married. And so they're going to try to make it look like they're doing the same things as people who really do walk the talk, to try to create that illusion that that's how they live their life too, even though they don't. Okay, what about let's get a fresh deck so all the cards can come out. What about the people that are in shadowy Taurus energy, who who don't want to put in work and effort to free themselves from their shadow nature, who might be kind of immature players and kind of live in fantasy land about relationships, thinking, I'll find someone who's willing to indulge me being this way. Or people who are very self-centered and egotistical in relationships, and their idea of a relationship is like, it's all supposed to be about me. I'm the most important person in this relationship, and it's about me indulging myself. What is coming in their future? Well, for one, I think they're going to keep investing and living more from their mind than their heart. And I think they're probably going to get in a relationship that really puts them up in their head. getting people who are shadowy that could have a lot of fear and insecurity, or they like to be indulged, they're kind of immature. Um, if they get in relationships with loving people, that really puts them up in their head. It's like, oh my gosh, they have hope and faith and belief in themselves. They're willing to like be a student of life and grow and mature themselves. Oh no, one day they're going to leave me because I never grow and mature myself. I want someone who indulges me in a relationship. If they get in a relationship with someone, they might manifest their dream where someone offers them money. But then they'll be up in their head. Let's ask why. Why would they be up in their head if somebody offered them money if they're materialistically focused? That would seem to be what they want. Why would they be up in their head about that? The Empress, the Knight of Swords, and the Ace of Cups because of the Knight of Pentacles. Well, it's kind of like someone is offering them maybe the same things that they were offering loving people in their life. I'll create this illusion that it's love if you will emotionally like nurture my foundation while I juggle. Well, they might have someone who offers them money for them to be loving to them. But that's the conundrum, right? They want to be in relationships based on money and materialism, but then the people who might have money might make them an offer, but then they're supposed to now be the person who emotionally indulges someone, and they're defensive to being very giving and loving in relationships. But they want that. So it's kind of like, am I willing to emotionally indulge people for things of the world? I used to think people should emotionally indulge me for the things of the world. Whatever it was that they thought they can bring to a relationship, they thought kind of people should look at them like a shining star and want to be in a relationship with them. Well, now someone might be offering them the things that they want, but they kind of like to be the privileged person. And that's what shadowy Empress energy can be. I like to be the privileged, pampered person in a relationship. Emotionally, doesn't matter if they're male or female. The Empress can be shadowy Libra Taurus energy. I think it's just and fair to be in relationships because of money and image and status and materialism, or to be surrounded and indulged in a relationship. That could be how they view their life and how they want to live their life. Well, guess what? They might have manifested it. But the people who might be offering them those things of the world that they covet might want it to be based on love. And it's like, oh shit, I don't like to do love. I like it to be about me. Or I don't want to do love because I get hurt doing love, but I want those things that you have of the world. So either way, they're going to screw themselves. And they also might be in a mental prison because they might have had someone. They indulge in their more immature worldly nature because they're in a mental prison about love. And then they might have had someone who's kind of also immature offer them money and played on their fear, their insecurities. And now they could be in a mental prison about that because they were tempted by the things of the world. And they could also be in a mental prison because the loving people in their life learned a lesson from being in a relationship with them, and they held their sword up to them and said, you harness shadowy Libra Taurus and shadowy Virgo. Your long-term plan is to make your life more about money and materialism, and I harness these energies in a high vibe way, and I'm speaking the truth and defending myself because I'm moving forward in love. And I'm not going to keep emotionally investing in someone who isn't putting in work and effort to be just and fair, and who's gained insight and wisdom about either their self-centeredness or their immature, indulgent ways of being, or their more worldly ways of being. I'm going to move forward and give birth to a new life, investing in love. And you can stay back there thinking it's just and fair to either be stubborn and prideful or materialistic. I'm doing love. I hope your life choices work out for you. I have hope and faith and belief that mine will, but to each their own. So there you go. I think there's going to be communication. Just be careful. Some of the shadowy people who thought that the way they were making decisions in their life was going to work out for them, they might want to communicate with you, is what I'm saying. And it might be because they think you now, for some reason, seem to be the one who's going to have the wheel of fortune go in your favor, and you seem to have more status, more image than maybe they thought you had before, and they could have went to go get in a relationship who, by superficial, just maybe looking at money or something, that person seemed to be in a shining more bright than you. But now they might see that, you know, people who love and believe in themselves shine brighter. But I'm just saying, don't, the people who have shown you that they're selfish and greedy and materialistic, it might just be for those reasons. It's like, oh, well, now you seem to be shining brighter. Now I should go get in a relationship with you. And if they try to come towards you, you will maintain your balance, and you'll tell them, I'm doing love. I've emotionally grown and matured myself. I don't indulge in my more materialistic or prideful or immature or illusionary things about life. I want to be in relationships with other people who've walked away from the past, and, you know, unless that person could communicate with you all the things they've learned and how they've seen life from a higher perspective, you know, I think you're going to have really good boundaries to them. And I don't know, you know, it would take like an act of God for people who are really selfish and greedy and prideful and egotistical and emotionally shallow and all of that to have had a change of life. And we do not have a tower card here showing that they have had a major disruption in their life. It might be just because the person who they went to go get in a relationship with was defensive to them, wasn't willing to bring the dream into reality. And since that relationship didn't work out, now they're thinking maybe you still have illusions about them. And when they try to communicate with you, they'll see that you're no longer caught up in illusions about them. You've looked at life from a higher perspective. You have put in work and effort to educate yourself about what really is love and what isn't. You can certainly love someone, but are they someone who's loving and just and fair and open and honest and warm? Does their cup of love overflow? Or are they in shadowy Capricorn energy where they don't really give very much of themselves? They are kind of selfish and greedy with their time, their energy, their effort. You know, if they haven't learned to love and believe in themselves and have a very abundant foundation, they are kind of like the devil, where I feel like I don't have very much to give. I can't certainly give of hardly anything of myself because I have very little, I feel like, in myself, because I have like a lack mentality and I haven't learned to love and believe in myself. So I just want to kind of create the illusion of love so people will be in a relationship with me. But you know, they're very stingy, very selfish. They just hold back from being loving and giving and authentic in the world. And they certainly don't see life from a higher perspective. It is all about the world. It is all about indulging themselves sexually, egotistically, very ego and image and superficial focused. It's not love that drives their life. But there could be other people, not that person, but there could be someone else who is seeing you moving forward, loving and believing in yourself, that you are not repeating past patterns, that you are moving forward, that you are going to get in a relationship with loving, nurturing people because you have good boundaries within yourself and keep your balance. There could be other people from your past that see you doing that. And if they had been in a relationship or trying to grow something else, or they had been a little more focused on money or career or something like that, they might communicate with you that you've kind of inspired them to see life from a higher perspective and they would like to move forward with you in friendship groups, in work groups, in romantic relationships. And whoever comes towards you, you're going to listen to your intuition. I do not suffer fools. I am moving forward. If you thought you could juggle and indulge and create some illusion and then maybe let me keep moving forward and you go back to repeating your past patterns or go back to a past relationship, I have no interest in that. Unless you're willing to walk away from the past to move forward in hope and faith and love and put in work and effort to have good boundaries and have balance and pick love, then go enjoy your life. I'm moving on. So there you go, Taurus energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.